Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Napa night at the races. Give us the words we've been waiting for.
Drivers, start your engines.
It's rock and roll time. They're going to go racing for 65 laps here at Langley Speedway.
33, Macy Causey with US 1061 and CBX Modular Homes for Macy in 33. By the way, she's got t-shirts on sale at the concessions, the souvenir stand. Silver Fox Premium White Rum on the side of JT Jackson 67. Century Security also. And from Maryland comes the 08, Mike Waddell, Don Hughes Racing. We have a couple of the extra backup drivers. Cameron Bowen in the other 97.3, the Eagle car. We are just about set to go for the first Twin 65 as the Toyota Tundra goes down pit road. Green flag flies from Shane Snyder. It is 65 laps of competition. Some of the best drivers in the Mid-Atlantic will battle it out for these 65 laps at Langley Speedway. Up front, the 5, Lee Pulliam, gets the lead. Matt Waltz hung on the outside. And down low, Butterbean in the 03. This is the nervous part of the race when they first get the jump on the restart or the start of the race. Tyler Hughes already making a move down to the inside. Greg Edwards on the high side. And the 97.3 Danny's Glass machine. And the jump start 27 trades a little paint with a 55 of Mark Wirtz. Danny Edwards also to the inside of Wirtz in the 55. Danny in the 26, the 90 of Terry Carroll. Justin Carroll, the 7 of Michael Harden. Then Connor Hall, the rest of the field. But up front, Sammy, it's Lee Pulliam showing the way. Matt Waltz all over his back bumper, though. Mounting a challenge here for the lead. Matt looking on the inside. Field strung out just a bit, nose to tail, all the way back to about 10th. And here comes Matt Waltz. A little tight here between 3 and 4. Waltz all over the rear end of the 5 of Lee Pulliam. Well, Sammy, you said Matt Waltz is fast.
Oh, yeah, and Lee's going to have his hands full with Matt, man. He won 12 races out here last year, and he's had a bad, fast car all day, so Lee will have his hands full with him. The interesting thing about Lee Pulliam's car, though, is he's running a Hedgecock chassis. Everybody else in this field is running Creech chassis. And Jay Hedgecock does a real nice job. He used to build our cars when we run the Hooters Pro Cup Series and the late model series from Jim Mosley and them. So he does build a good car.
Casey Wyatt looking to make a move on the 7 of Michael Harden as he did not qualify where he wanted to. Of course, after the DQs last week with Casey Wyatt, he had to get some different shocks, and his shock builder out of town and on vacation, so he has to wait another week to get the ones he really wants. 77 down low, Connor Hall making a move to the inside of the 91 of Justin Carroll. And the 27, Tommy Lemons making a move on the inside of Tyler Hughes, trying to take over that 4th position.
Yeah, you were talking about Casey earlier. He was fast in the last practice, and they made a few adjustments to the car and kind of backed the car up a little bit, so I don't guess they got it back till after practice was over, but he was fast in practice. And their shock deal they got going on is they haven't got their shock back. My understanding is the track still has it, and they're holding it for the shock builder to come back and inspect it because there was a problem with it last week, and they've got to get all that sorted out and see if he's going to be disqualified or not.
Right. And all the action that Casey was involved in last week with that spin, and he got hit, and also, of course, he was racing and bumping and banging side by side lap after lap with several drivers, including Connor Hall and Butterbean. But he'll try to work his way through the field. I talked to Casey before the race. He said the car comes on after about 4 or 5 laps. Speaking of Butterbean, he's up there challenging the 2 of Matt Waltz for that 2nd spot. Greg Edwards trying to move up to the back bumper, the G2 of Tyler Hughes. That's a battle for 5th. The 91 down on the inside of Casey, Justin Carroll. It is Lee Pulliam leading Matt Waltz, Brendan Queen, Tommy Lemons, Tyler Hughes, top 5. Then Greg Edwards, Matt Waltz, Danny Edwards, Terry Carroll, Connor Hall, the top 10.
Lee's really killing everybody right in the center of the corner. His car's just turning the center so good. These other cars ain't turning the middle as good as he is. You can see as his car rotates through the center, he's picking up a half a car on these guys.
Butterbean, he's got a fast car. He's looking for his first win at Langley Speedway in the late model stock car division. The Patriot Realty 03. JT Jackson, the lucky number 67, about to go a lap down. Some of these backup drivers also, we've got Cameron Bowen in the 97 and JT in the 67. Looks like he might take it into the pits. Still working to get some bugs worked out of that 67. Sammy, these are some qualifying speeds I'm seeing. 16.1s in a race.
Yeah, they were bad. I mean, this is fast. The cars are getting faster and faster since the racing season has started. The boys are hitting. They're all getting the cars dialed in, and as the season goes, they'll pick up maybe another half a tenth. But I think they're running about as fast as they're going to go right now.
Side-by-side battle between Justin Carroll and Casey Wyatt. They will battle it out down the back straightaway. Casey about a half a car length advantage on the outside, doing it the hard way, and Justin down low. Meanwhile, back up front, the 27 Tommy Lemons gets by that slower 08. Michael Waddell out here gaining some experience at Langley Speedway, coming to the racetrack for the first time in 2015. Side-by-side battle continues between Danny Edwards and the 55 of Mark Wirtz, one of last week's winners, and also Justin Carroll challenges Mark Wirtz. That Dunkin' Donuts ride on the outside, and Justin, well, Terry has to slow up because of the 08, so Mark Wirtz using the lap machine to his advantage to keep off the challenge by Terry Carroll and the Carroll's Automotive Ford. 20 laps of 65 complete. The US 1061 car, 33. Macy Causey gaining some valuable experience. And some of the faster cars go by to the outside, but she's getting better and better every week, and you can see it. Let's go to Buck.
Yep. Down here watching these cars rotate around this track as well, and you can see the 5 car definitely killing them down in 3 and 4. The fastest car on the track I'm watching right now is Tommy Lemons. He's starting to reel in your top 3 machines, though, so watch that 27 car before the end of the race. As long as we stay green, he's catching them.
Jumpstart 27, Tommy Lemons. He's up there in the top 5 in 4th position.
Yeah, 3 of these top 4 cars right here, the 5, the 2, and the 27, they all run a traveling series called the Cars Series. So you won't see them out here that often, but when they can make it, they do put on a good show. Lee Pulliam, he's probably one of the best short track racers in the country. So you're seeing one of the top-notch drivers out here tonight.
Terry Carroll able to get by that 55 of Mark Wirtz. Terry's got a fast race car, Sammy.
Yeah, he does. He's got a fast race car tonight, and they were pretty good in practice. Him and Justin were both pretty good in practice, and looks like he's got it dialed in right now. But, you know, really, you got to look at these cars in that second race. The guys that really got good cars are going to come on in that second race.
Well, Casey was right, man. His car is coming on as the laps continue to wind down. He was able to get past the 91 of Justin Carroll, and he's pulled away from him by about 15 to 20 car lengths now.
Yeah, and the way the way Casey likes his cars, he always has a good long run car. The feel he likes in the car, it's not a good short run car, but it always is good at the end. And you can look for him to be up front in the second race.
It is Lee Pulliam, Matt Waltz, Brendan Butterbean Queen, Tommy Lemons, Tyler Hughes, top 5. Greg Edwards back there in 6th position. Danny Edwards, his brother, in 7th. 8th, Terry Carroll. 9th is Mark Wirtz, and Michael Harden in 10th. So some of these guys that we thought would be up there in the top 5, just outside, like Greg and Danny, Mark Wirtz.
Yeah, it's been a weird day today. I mean, it was real hot today. The asphalt was hot, and you know, some of these guys with the track cooling off might have dialed the cars out a little bit.
Talked with Greg before the race. He said, yeah, the track is really hot, really slick, and a lot different than it has been all season long. So it's something they got to get used to.
Yeah, I think it's it's been so cool around here this winter. It's just started getting hot. A lot of the oil's probably rising to the top of the track and making it a little bit slick. So they'll get a handle on it as the season goes on.
A lot of rubber on the racetrack. You can see that all over the racetrack. We haven't had any rain in a while, so there's a lot of rubber and also a lot of marbles up there in the high stuff. If you get kicked up to the high side, look out.
Yeah, you're gonna go for a ride if you get above that, up in that grade. You're gonna go for a ride.
Good to have a lot of these different drivers, some of the best in the Mid-Atlantic. I know you're familiar with all the names, Sammy. Lee Pulliam up there in the lead with the Kiker Tree Service and Pulliam Logging, number 5. Matt Waltz, Waltz Engineered Sales. 12 wins, like you said, Sammy, from last year, and he's taken over where he left off. Didn't miss a beat when he came back to Langley Speedway.
No, he had a lot of good notes from last year, man. He had a lot of wins out here, and he was constantly up front, so he's got a lot of good notes from last year. And the asphalt hasn't changed that much. It's still good, so all his notes from last year will do him good anytime he comes out here.
And you got to be impressed with Butterbean up there in the third spot. Brendan Butterbean, Queen of Chesapeake. And a young driver, too, but he's adapted to this late model pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I think he's only about 16, 17 years old, and he has adapted to late model racing. I mean, he's been doing it over a year now, so he kind of has an idea what's going on. He's got good people helping him with the car, so he ought to be running up front.
Yeah, 17 years old. Butterbean right there in third spot. Tommy Lemons, first time he came to Langley Speedway this season, the first race of the season. Kicked everybody's butt in qualifying, sat on the pole, but had some bad luck. Ended up in a big wreck, tore the car up. But they've been able to get that thing fixed, and he's running good.
Yeah, he got tore up in that wreck when that guy blew that motor up, and he said, I mean, really, that guy shouldn't even been back out there. And tore up two good cars that day. So sometimes these drivers got to think about that stuff when they're over-revving these motors coming out of the pit. You can destroy somebody else's car.
A little touchy situation up here for the leaders as they try and get by Macy Causey. They didn't know which way to go to get by her, but she stayed down on the bottom. They went by on the high side, but this allowed Matt Waltz to close up to the back bumper of Lee Pulliam. And also the 27, like you said, Tommy Lemons all over the back end of the 03 of Butterbean. Buck Roos, what are you seeing down there in the pits?
Well, it looks like the 5 car definitely has him covered. Matt's there. He just cannot get the bite off the corner to actually make it work. But right now, Tommy Lemons has already gone around Butterbean, and that 27 car, like I said earlier, is a rocket right now, Mike.
Made it look easy, too, when he got by Butterbean. Tyler Hughes up there in the top 5, one of the winners from last week, along with Mark Wirtz. Wirtz going the wrong way, sliding back, but look who's coming up to the front. Danny Edwards and the 90 of Terry Carroll. Good to see some different faces up front, like Terry and the Carroll's Automotive Ford.
You got these guys, all of them are finding a little something different every week, and all of them making their cars faster. And if I'm not mistaken, old Lee Pulliam and Lemons, they both won that big show in Martinsville.
Oh, yeah. That's always a great late model race. Love that Martinsville racing for the late models.
Oh, yeah, you'll have 100 cars show up there for 36 spots. I mean, it's the Daytona for the late model stock cars. And these guys put a lot of effort into that race. And it's a season-ending race. Most of these guys bring out new cars for it.
Getting by the 77 here, Butterbean, and the 27, Tommy Lemons, and also the 8, Tyler Hughes. That is the 77A, Bruce Livingston we're talking about. Good to see Bruce back here at Langley Speedway. Kiker number 5 out front. Waltz Engineered Sales number 2 in second spot. Then Tommy Lemons, Brendan Queen, Tyler Hughes top 5. Greg Edwards still in 6th. Terry Carroll, 7th position. Danny Edwards in 8th. And then Mark Wirtz and Michael Harden in the 7 in the top 10 as we speak.
Yeah, these guys will get in here after this race, the next 20 laps. They'll get in pits. They'll dial in on these cars a little bit. They'll make a few changes here and there. You'll have a different race the second one.
Danny Edwards working to the inside of the 90 of Terry Carroll. Can't make it happen. Look, it's going to be Mark Wirtz. He sticks his nose to the bottom of the racetrack to get down to the inside on Danny Edwards. That was tight. Thought about making it 3 wide, and Terry Carroll takes advantage of that as he holds off both Danny and Mark Wirtz. I think Wirtz kind of hurt Danny's pass on that one.
Yeah, took Danny right out of his groove. And, Terry's got a fast car tonight. He's one of them 2 cars. He's got a real fast car tonight. Michael Harden was fast in practice. I'm surprised to not see him up front a little further. But he had a real fast car in practice.
All right, I'm almost afraid to say it, Sammy, but we've had no caution flags.
Yeah, these guys want to save them cars for the second race. It's too easy to mess one up in the first race and you lose the points on the second. All these guys are points racing.
You talked about throwing a blanket over them. The 90, the 26, and 55, you could probably do that, especially in the middle of the turns when they close up on the back bumper of each other.
Yeah, they're getting ready to get some company back there with the 7 car Harden and the 92 Casey. They're getting ready to close in on them here a little bit.
Buck?
Yeah, guys, I was just going to say, just think about this. 1 week ago, we were talking about the guys battling for 8th on the track right now, finishing 1-2.
Exactly. And look at this battle. Wirtz, he was sideways that time with the exit of 4. The Dunkin' Donuts, number 55. And just ahead, it looks like Danny Edwards is working his heart out to get by that 90 of Terry Carroll. Not as easy as he thought it might be. Terry's got a fast Ford today.
Well, Terry's got a lot of bite off the corner. That's where he's leaving them a little bit out, just right off the corner, and they haven't got quite enough to catch up to him, but they're faster than he is through the turn, and he's really holding them up. I think Danny's getting his nose under him now.
Yeah, he's up to the rear quarter panel, and Terry lets him go.
It'll take Mark with him. It'll take the 7 car with him probably too. Once you get trapped on that outside, you're going to go by you on the inside.
It was kind of smart on Terry's part to let him go once he got to the rear quarter panel. He said, well, you know what? He is faster than I am. Maybe I should just let him go. I'm holding everybody up. If I can get it back in line, maybe I can ride with these guys and hang right with them.
Here we got Greg making a challenge on Butterbean over there.
There we go. Battle for the top 5 as the 97.3, the Eagle machine of Greg Edwards, starts to come to life. Getting to the inside of Brendan Queen in the Patriot Realty 03. Now, Butterbean will race you side by side, lap after lap, till your tongue is hanging out.
Oh, yeah, he's driving on that high groove. He likes that high groove up there. Him and Casey have been running like that all year, and we were running that like that last year. Inside or outside, it don't matter to either one of them, but they're always running together.
Now, in this instance, I wouldn't think that Butterbean is helping the cause a little bit. I think he probably should let him go, but he's a racer, man. He doesn't want to give up.
Well, the thing he's doing right now is he's using up his tires. He's not going to have any tires left for the second race, and that's it's going to kill him on the second race, staying outside that long.
Well, Casey Wyatt making a move down on the inside of the 7 of Michael Harden. Meanwhile, it's still side by side between Greg Edwards and Butterbean as they exit turn number 2. Casey able to get by the 7, and he's really moved up. Came from the 14th spot, and he's up to the top 10 and knocking on the door and closing up on the back end of Mark Wirtz, one of last week's winners. The side-by-side battle continues to rage on between 97.3, the Eagle machine, and the Patriot Realty 03 of Butterbean. Let's go to Buck.
Hey guys, don't forget the battle right now going on between Brendan Queen and Greg Edwards. That's for the Commander's Cup. They are the first 2 in the field right now that are up and eligible for that cup tonight for this first race.
Greg Edwards just got into Butterbean as you were talking there, Buck. I mean, he slid up a little bit as they went down to the entrance of turn 1 and got into the side of Butterbean. I think Greg might be losing his patience a little bit on that deal.
Yeah, but both of their tires are getting hot. They're using up a lot of tire, and it's going to kill them in the last race. Probably about the last 30 laps of the last race, they're not going to have any tire left.
And Greg wants to be careful. He doesn't want to cut a tire either to slide up into the 03. Does complete the pass. Greg Edwards moves up to the top 5. Look at this battle here. The 90, the 55, the 92, and the 7. Good battle between Terry Carroll and Mark Wirtz. And Casey Wyatt closing in on these guys. Casey's got to feel a whole lot better than he did at the start of the race, knowing he's got the guy that won a race last week in his windshield.
Yeah, and they had some brake problems and lost some practice today. They had something go wrong with the brakes in the first practice, and they didn't get. They got into the second practice and third practice. So yeah, they're a little behind the 8 ball today, and looks like they're making good out of it.
Mark Wirtz opens up the door for Casey Wyatt. He slides up high. Casey down low will make the pass on the 55, or will he? There's a little challenge coming back from Wirtz. You got Waltz up front, still chasing down Lee Pulliam as Casey tries to get by that 55 and completes the pass on Mark Wirtz. But Mark's going to dive it down low, trying back on the inside. And Terry Carroll just ahead. Casey's got to be careful on that outside with the 55. Well, some great racing once again, Sammy.
Yeah, it is. It's good racing, but he's always got to think about their tire management now, because you only get one set of tires out here, and if you burn them up in the first race, you don't have much left for the second race.
Checkered flag is about to be displayed as we're approaching lap number 65. Biggest race on the racetrack is that between Casey Wyatt and Mark Wirtz, as the checkered flag goes out to the 5 of Lee Pulliam, who wins over Matt Waltz with the second place finish in car 2. In that battle between the 55 and 92, who's going to get that position at the end of the race? It's going to be Casey over Mark Wirtz. Lee Pulliam wins, Matt Waltz second, Tommy Lemons with a great third place finish, Tyler Hughes in the top 5 and 4th, and Greg Edwards with the top 5 finish. Of course, the Commander's Cup is up for grabs too. Brendan Butterbean Queen with a 0-3 and 6th. Danny Edwards, 26, was 7th. The 90 of Terry Carroll, great run with a top 8 finish. Then Casey Wyatt, 9th position. Following Casey, Mark Wirtz. Mark finishes in 10th. Michael Harden in the 7 and 11th. Connor Hall, the 77 12th. 13th is Justin Carroll in the 91. G.R. Waldrop, he finishes in 14th. 15th, Bruce Livingston. 16th, it is Macy Causey, Mike Waddell. In 17th, JT Jackson 18th, and Cameron Bowen in 19th. And the guy with the checkered flag, Sammy, Lee Pulliam.
And you'll probably see him back for the Hampton Heat. I think that's what the Lee Pulliam and Lemons and Walter out here doing. They're gearing up for that Hampton Heat, man.
The Commanders Cup. To your winner of the Commanders Cup Challenge tonight, here carrying the Air Force colors on the right-hand side of the roof, Mr. Greg Edwards. Come on up, Bobby. Get you over here. They're going to throw a little water around over there, and we'll go over there in a second. But Greg, a hard-fought fifth, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with the car tonight. We definitely either have something broke or have an issue going on that we're going to have to take a look at between these races. I don't know. That's the worst car it's been in quite a while. And we just hung in there tough. Had a good race with Butterbean side by side. I don't think we were ever touched. So thank you to the Air Force, and we need to get back and work on this thing.
And, Bobby, thank you very much for Napa coming out once again here with Langley Speedway for 2015. And want to let you go ahead and present that to Greg here.
Greg, congratulations, bud. Way to drive. I know that was hard work there, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
And that's getting it done. Napa know-how style here down on the front stretch. Greg Edwards with a great top 5 finish. And we're down here with Paul from Garrett Motors. And I'll tell you what, let me grab this guy real quick because we talked pre-race. The one guy that everybody's always kept comparing you to about winning everywhere, you just did something he never did. You've won at Langley Speedway. Philip Morris never did it. This is awesome, Lee. Great job, buddy.
Yeah, I can't say enough about everybody's hard work and determination. We weren't where we needed to be speed-wise yesterday. We were decent. I felt like we could have run second or third, and we dug in and stayed real late last night working on the car and worked on it all day, man. We had issues all day. Got it better and better and sorted out, and man, I can't say enough about everybody. I got to give God all the glory. He's done some amazing things for me, and be able to wheel one of these race cars on the weekends and to get a win here at Langley Speedway is mighty special. So one of the few places we hadn't ever got a trophy yet, and feels really good.
Well, Paul's got one for you right here, buddy, and congratulations.
Congratulations from Napa and all the local people.
There you go, Paul. Well, thank you very much. And I tell you what, the Napa know-how getting it done down here, and it is we're having a great time, and all these military folks out here at Langley Speedway. Some Wounded Warriors are over in our VIP lounge in Turn 4, buddy. And so you were talking about, the glory to God for sure, but our men and women that serve our country doing a great job and all surrounding this entire Langley Speedway area.
Yeah, I've always said if you can't get behind our troops, you need to stand in front of them. And it's one of the greatest country in the world, and just privileged to live here in the United States. And those men and women sacrificed so much for us to be able to do what we love and have our freedoms, and thank God for them every day.
There you go. Well, he's in victory lane. They're going to take some photos. Lee Pulliam is a winner at Langley Speedway, Mike.
All right, fans, I hope you're ready for it. Final lap before they turn them loose. Twin 65s for our 65th anniversary. Napa Auto Parts Night at the Races. We appreciate everything Napa does for us. And here we go. Green flag is out. We're underway. Lee Pulliam leads the field in the Kiker number 5. Tommy Lemons dives underneath the 2 of Matt Waltz, but Matt Waltz gets a good bite at the exit of 2. What a start. Man, this is exciting. Side by side for the lead. Matt Waltz on the high side. He's going to try to make the pass on the 5 of Lee Pulliam. He pulls ahead. Half a car length over Lee Pulliam.
Yeah, that high groove worked for Matt all last year, man. He's run that high groove all last year. He had everybody covered last year up in that high groove, and he's done it again.
And look, Tyler Hughes is headed to the front in the 2nd spot. He's going to try and chase down our new leader, Matt Waltz, in car 2, the Waltz Engineered Sales Machine out front.
And look at Casey White back there in the 6th. I told you, if the race goes on, he's going to get better. He likes his cars to come on at the end of the race, and that looks like what he's going to do tonight.
Tommy Lemons got into the 5 a little bit at the exit of 2, got him loose, and stays right behind him now in that 4th position. It is Matt Waltz, Tyler Hughes, Lee Pulliam, Tommy Lemons, Greg Edwards, Casey Wyatt, Mark Wirtz, Danny Edwards, Michael Harden, all in the top 10. The backup 97 about to come down pit road. Cameron Bowen. Mark Wirtz all over the inside of Casey Wyatt, or at least trying to get there to make that move for that 6th position. Casey holding him off for the minute. Matt Waltz about a 3.5 car length lead over Tyler Hughes in the G2 racing number 8, the 2 out front. Lee Pulliam looks like his car is getting loose off the turn, Sammy.
Yeah, it looks like his car might have freed up a little bit. They probably didn't go the right way with it, man, because he had him covered in the first race. And like I said, these drivers get in here and make changes. All these guys know what they're doing. And they get in here and make these changes, and you see a different field of cars out here when they come out for this second race.
Mark Wirtz to the inside of Casey Wyatt, trying to make that pass for the 6th position. Casey giving him plenty of room down on the bottom. JT Jackson comes down pit road. Wirtz completes the pass in the Dunkin' Donuts 55, the 92.9 The Wave Machine back in 7th. Then it's Danny Edwards, the Danny's Glass 26, Michael Harden the 7, the 77 Connor Hall, but up front, Matt Waltz in the 2.
Yeah, Matt's picking up just like he left off last year. This is what he did all year last year, man. He was a constant front runner, and if he didn't have a problem, he won.
Casey Wyatt's going to fight back with the Wirtz number 55. Meanwhile, it's the 5 closing in on the 8 of Tyler Hughes. That's for 2nd. Casey Wyatt will battle with Wirtz again. Now between turns 1 and 2, and the 5 going battle with the 8. You don't know where to look. There's so much action going on here. 10 laps into a 65-lap race. Mark Wirtz worked pretty good on that high side, but Casey's working it again down on the bottom. That's a battle for the 6th position.
Yeah, there's a lot of grip up there in that second groove, but it doesn't ever get used. You know, there's a few drivers out here that like it up there and will use it, but most of the time these drivers want to keep it on the bottom.
A slip by the 8 of Tyler Hughes. He loses 2-3 positions. Greg Edwards now comes underneath Tyler Hughes. He took a big-time slip. Got way up high in the marbles. We talked about how much rubber was on the high side, and we're not talking about good gripping rubber. We're talking about the marbles, and he got up into it. And now Greg's going to challenge him for that spot, and that is for 4th. Lee Pulliam now in 2nd spot, ahead of the 27 of Tommy Lemons, the jump start machine. Then Tyler Hughes, Greg Edwards, Mark Wirtz, Casey Wyatt, Danny Edwards, Michael Harden, the rest of the field. We still have 17 race cars on the racetrack. Casey Wyatt trying to hold off the challenge of the 26 of Danny Edwards. 15 laps into a 65-lap race. And Wirtz is leaving the field. Waltz leaving the field in the 2. Matt Waltz out front of Lee Pulliam. Greg Edwards still trying to work on the 8, as also Danny Edwards, the Danny's Glass 26, races with the 92.9 The Wave car, Casey Wyatt. They're door to door, and let's go to Buck.
Yeah, I don't know how much rubber he's going to have left on it, but I'll tell you, Butterbean is chopping his way through the field. He started 19th out of the 19 cars, and he is in the top 10 now, Mike.
Butterbean headed to the front after he had to change that tire, start from the rear of the field because of the blistering he had on the first race. He's to the inside of Michael Harden's number 7, and that tire looks like it might be helping him a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you get one good new tire on these cars. It is an advantage, but really, you might not get the stagger in it you want, so it's kind of a trade-off. You get the stagger you want and you got a new tire on it, you've definitely got an advantage.
Terry Carroll working on the 77 of Connor Hall. They're racing each other hard and heavy down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Greg Edwards closes up on the 8 again. Tyler Hughes. Tyler had that slip, and here goes the 90 of Terry Carroll to the inside of Connor Hall. Connor, the Town Bank car, he's been off tonight. And as I say that, he's going to fight back with Terry Carroll's Ford.
Yeah, it's funny how when the weather changes, it can throw these drivers a curve. And you know that The weather has been pretty consistent here all year. It just got a little hot today in the three drivers curve, I think.
Butterbean now working to the inside of Casey Wyatt on the 92. Let's go to Buck.
Yeah, another one of these deja vu moments as we're watching Tyler holding off Greg Edwards down into turn number 1. Once again, that's a battle for 4th now, which was a battle last week for the win in the second race.
And Greg Edwards down on the inside of Tyler now as they fight it out for the 4th position. Like you said, Buck, some of the front runners we've had in previous weeks and some new faces up front. Med Waltz leading the event in the Waltz Engineered Sales, number 2. Lee Pulliam in the 5, the 27, Tommy Lemons, then the 8 and the 97. Tyler and Greg.
Yeah, all them three of them cars up front right now, they travel on that car series, this traveling series. And if this is the quality of cars that are in there in these top 3, man, it must be a real good series. I've never personally seen it, but if the cars are like these top 3, it's a good series to go watch.
Let's go to Buck.
Yeah, just touching on that series that Sammy's talking about, that car series, the last 2 times out, they've had 60 cars show up. It's a different rule package. It's not NASCAR sanctioned, so it's something a little bit different, but at Orange County, I believe it was, and then the last time out too, 60 machines showing up to try to do battles on these cars toward late models.
All right, good battle up here between the 55, the 26, the 03, the 92, and the 7. Macy Causey and the 08, Mike Waddell. They're being passed, or at least about to be passed, by the 90 of Terry Carroll, the 77 Connor Hall. J.R. Waldrop has picked it up on this race compared to what he did in the first race. Danny Edwards picking it up as he goes to the inside of Mark Wirtz in the 55. Door-to-door battle as they will fight it out. And let's go to Buck.
New second place driver Tommy Lemons just made his way by Lee Pulliam while you were watching that battle. Here comes Butterbean inside the 55 down in 1.
Yeah, Buck, you really don't know where to look, man, when the racing is this good. There's action all over the racetrack, which is a great thing. 29 laps into the 65-lap event. Danny Edwards, he was able to get by. Butterbean also able to get by the 55, one of the winners last week. Mark Wirtz in the Dunkin' Donuts ride. Greg Edwards, he's up there in the 5th position, still trying to get by that 8 of Tyler Hughes. No cautions yet.
Don't say that too much. You know how that goes, man. It don't always work. I tell you, the field's strung out. These drivers have settled in, and really, they've got everything they've got out of their cars right now. Their cars are going to be on the downhill side now. They're going to be going away.
Now, you know how blistering fast that 2 is. He's got to be careful closing up on some slower machines. The 91 of Justin Carroll, 33 Macy Causey, the US 106 machine. And he makes it look easy as he scoots by on the outside.
Yeah, Matt's staying up there in that second groove, man. It's a groove he run all last year, and he's got his car working up there again, you know. He's up higher than anybody else on the racetrack, and the car is really fast.
Tommy Lemons, he's turning some fast laps. He's the guy in second spot. Mad Waltz, Tommy Lemons, Lee Pulliam, Tyler Hughes, and Greg Edwards, top 5. Buck?
Yeah, we were talking about the 03 chopping through the field. Well, after he passed Mark Wirtz, he was up on Danny Edwards Jr., and now it looks like something's going amiss on the 03 because he's lost some ground to the 26, and now Mark Wirtz is catching up to the back of him again. And turn number 4, they exit right now.
Buck, you think he might be blistering the tire again, or did they make some changes?
I don't know. What Sammy was talking about that car, you know, if he's driving it off the right rear, he's going to have a fresher tire than everybody else on the right rear to start the race, so it had that look, you know, a fresh tire on the right rear to drive through the field with. If that's the tire he's driving off of, he's going to do great until he gets into the top 7 or 6 cars, and then you'll see the car fade, which is looking like what we're seeing right now, so it might be exactly what Sammy called before the race even dropped the green flag.
All right, Buck, I'll tell you somebody who's up on the wheel tonight having a great time, and you probably got a smile from ear to ear. That's Terry Carroll as he's to the inside of the 77 of Connor Hall, the Town Bank ride, and he's having fun tonight, Sammy.
Yeah, Terry's having a good run, man. He deserves it. He works hard on them cars, you know. It takes a lot of ways to do business to do these cars, and he's doing both, so he's doing a heck of a job.
Matt Waltz leads Tommy Lemons, Lee Pulliam, Tyler Hughes, and Greg Edwards. Then Danny Edwards, Brendan Queen, Mark Wirtz, Casey Wyatt, and Michael Harden. then Connor Hall, Terry Carroll, G.R. Waldrop, Justin Carroll, Bruce Livingston, Mike Waddell, Macy Causey, J.T. Jackson, Cameron Bowen, the way they are listed on the scoring. And again, the Carroll's Automotive number 90, Terry Carroll working to the inside of Connor Hall. Butterbean, he's come back to life as he's challenging the 26 Danny's Glass Chevrolet of Danny Edwards. These guys have had a couple of close calls this year. The 26 and 03, Butterbean.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Danny's been on the receiving end of those.
Yeah.
You know, you can only take so many of them. So let's say Butterbean prize him a nice, clean race tonight. It might dismiss some of that feelings Danny has for him, you know?
Right. Get the trust back, I guess.
Yeah. You got to trust the guy you're running against. That's the main thing. If you don't trust him, man, it's no fun.
Especially if you're on the outside of him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's very easy to get that right front into that left rear and really create a lot of problems.
That 08, I think it's the motor on the 08. That thing sounds awful when it comes down the front straightaway. I can hear it through the windows here in the booth. Listen for it, Sammy. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah, he's done lost a cylinder or two there. He'd be better off where he's at. Let's go ahead and pull it in and not destroy anything in that motor.
And not destroy our racetrack with oil all over it.
Yeah, that'd take a lot of time to clean up, too.
Greg Edwards having a blast racing tonight, but not as much fun as he has earlier in the season where he got 3 wins. Now he's trying to get past the number 8 of Tyler Hughes, the 91. He's another lap down. And Greg Edwards still working to the inside of Tyler for that 4th position. And I guess Greg's got some work to do over there on Research Drive.
Yeah, they got to find out what's going on with that car because this sure isn't the car it was the first 3 races. There's something going on with it, and I'm sure they'll get it figured out. I mean, they've been around racing a long time. They'll get it.
But I guess, when you're, used to winning, running and battling for the 4th position, you feel like you're hung out to dry.
Oh, yeah.
You feel like it's over. And
you feel like you're running last. But like I said, we had a problem. I had a little car for Fred Siebert on years ago. We had a problem with that car. We couldn't quite figure it out, but we finally found out we had to put ratchet springs in it after every 2 races, or the ratchet springs would just go. We don't know what was the problem with it, but we had to do that every 2 races. If we didn't, they'd go away the second race. So we found it out, and then every 2 races we have to take the rear end apart, put springs in it, and go back. And it may be an issue they have. I don't know.
Greg Edwards still working side by side with Tyler Hughes. Meanwhile, the battle rages on between Terry Carroll and the 77 of Connor Hall. 2 great side-by-side races between these guys. And Greg, he almost had the 8 of Tyler Hughes passed, but Tyler was fighting back and running pretty good on the outside.
Yeah, you can keep these motors wound up. If you're up in that second groove, you got to keep the motor wound up. You got a lot more momentum off the corner, and you can pull away from them. And that's kind of what it looks like it's happened. He's moved up in that second groove and found out it's faster up there.
See Matt Walt's mom taking pictures and posting them on Facebook. He's out in the lead, looking good in that too. Walt's engineered sales ride, and looking like we're going to have another different winner tonight at Langley Speedway as Matt Walt shows the way. Lee Pulliam, the first winner. Oh, spin in between 3 and 4. It is the 08. That's the one we talked about with the engine issue. And Mike Waddell brings out the caution flag, our first here at Langley Speedway. Uh-oh, Sam, you got a restart coming up.
Yeah, we only got 14 laps to go, so we're in good shape right now, man. We're live to make it home before 11,
Oh, you just jinxed us.
Yeah, that does happen.
All right, there it is, lap 51, the first caution flag for the second Twin 65 at Langley Speedway. Well, it's definitely been an exciting race and one where you've got a lot of different things to watch. You don't know where that auto parts tonight at the races. Terry Carroll gets his lap back to Lucky Dog. Matt Waltz chooses the outside. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's where his car is good at. His car was good on the last year. He did that once last year, too, took the outside. And
right.
His car's good out there, and he's got that outside line working. He's had it working for a year, so there's no reason he shouldn't do that. But that Tommy Lemons will surprise you. The boys won Martinsville. He's won one of the biggest shows late model stock cars has, so you got to keep your eye on him.
Tyler Hughes also chose to use the cone along with Butterbean. Casey White, the 92, the 7. Michael Harden will be on the outside. To the inside, Tommy Lemons now. Let's see what's going to happen. Pace truck is in. Green flag is out. Race is underway. 51 laps of 65 complete at Langley Speedway. Matt Waltz will have to haul off the charging Tommy Lemons down on the bottom of the racetrack. Meanwhile, first race winner Lee Pulliam back in third spot battles with the 8 of Tyler Hughes. Great race for the lead as the laps wind down. Matt Waltz trying to hold off that 27. And for the minute, he's going to do it. Matt Waltz out front again.
Yeah, he's cleared him. He's doing good. He did good.
Great racing here at Langley Speedway. Tommy Lemons not giving up, though. He's going to dig to the bottom of the racetrack. Lee Pulliam also fights it out with Tyler Hughes for the third position. Then it's Butterbean, Greg Edwards, Danny Edwards, Casey Wyatt, and the 55 of Mark Wirtz. 54 laps out of 65 completed. And again, Matt Waltz holds off the challenge on the outside.
Yeah, it's the same thing he did all last year, man. It's the same move, same groove. I mean, he's got that car on his string going around this racetrack.
10 laps to go. Matt Waltz, Tommy Lemons, Tyler Hughes, Lee Pulliam, Butterbean, Greg Edwards, Danny Edwards, nose to tail. Lee Pulliam looks through the inside again on the 8 of Tyler Hughes. Michael Harden makes a move on Casey Wyatt. Matt Waltz doing a great job tonight, keeping the 27 behind him. The jump start 27. Tommy Lemons, North Carolina driver, still inches his way up to the inside on Matt Waltz. Well, Sammy, he is close enough to possibly put the move on him if it's the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, he can get by him if it's the last lap, but he's on his bumper. You know, it's going to be interesting to see because it can be kind of hard to get to his bumper with him up there in that high groove. It looks like Lemon's car is working better on the bottom. You know, I don't know if he can go up there in that high groove.
Look at this great battle between Danny Edwards, Greg Edwards, and Butterbean, and the great side-by-side racing action for the lead between Tommy Lemons and Matt Waltz. 5 laps to go next time by. Anybody's win. Matt Waltz has led most of the laps, but he's got his hands full now.
It's going to be an exciting finish. And these races have been like this all year, man. These late models really put on a good show all year long this year.
It is so fun to watch.
Yes, it is.
Love my job.
It's a pleasure to come out here and watch it.
It really is.
I mean, right now you got 3 packs of cars running, and they're all racing.
All racing each other, yep. Tommy Lemons racing his heart out trying to get by Waltz in the 2. And Waltz is maintaining that high groove and still fast.
Thing is, Lemons is maintaining that low groove and still fast. He's getting him in the middle. He's a little bit better in the middle, but Waltz has got him on that roll off.
2.5 laps to go. Casey Wyatt was able to get back by that 7 of Michael Harden. Meanwhile, it's Greg Edwards still racing with Butterbean a little bit further back. And here we go. 2 laps to go. Tommy Lemons looking to get his first win at Langley Speedway. White flag about to be displayed. Will he lean on Matt Waltz? Will Matt Waltz hold him off? Matt Waltz, Tommy Lemons, Lee Pulliam, Tyler Hughes, Brendan Queen, the top 5. Last lap of the race. Who's it going to be? Tommy Lemons backs it up a little bit, gets another run down on the bottom of the racetrack with Matt Waltz to the checkered flag. It is going to be Matt Waltz who wins. Tommy Lemons second. What a finish. And they're still side by side.
They're racing all over this track, man. They got good racing going on tonight.
Woo! Good stuff. Matt Waltz wins. Tommy Lemons second. Lee Pulliam third. Tyler Hughes fourth. Brendan Butterbean Queenan with another top 5 finish. Then Greg Edwards, last year's defending track champion, he ends up in 6th. Danny Edwards 7th. Mark Wirtz 8th, the winner from last week. Casey Wyatt 9th. Michael Harden 10th. Then Terry Carroll, G.R. Waldrop. You got Justin Carroll. Connor Waltz was saying this is his favorite place. It's like coming home, like coming back to family. And there he is, once again in the Dale Lemons victory lane. Didn't win the first race, had a good run, but pulled it off for the second. Let's go to Buck.
That was amazing. I'll tell you what. And I tell you what, he was rolling in the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown. He comes back home and ends up in victory lane. Matt Waltz. Big old swig of ice cold Aquafina spring water from Reverend Potter and everybody. Mom down here, definitely, man. I tell you what, you had to wheel her, man. Tommy Lemons, what a great competitor. He gave you all the room you needed, and you gave him all the room, and y'all just duked it out, man.
Yeah, just great racing there. I knew once he got around Lee there, they were telling me how far he was behind me. I knew he was a little bit better than us, but I figured if I could stay up on the outside and just do my thing, I was going to be able to, I could have a darn good shot at winning the race. So just real happy. We're happy for everybody. Thank you to all the fans for sure coming out here, and glad to be back down here in Victory Lane. Gotta thank Waltz Engineer Sales, Dav Kine Incorporated, Phil Forbes, Attorney at Law, and Creech Motorsports, Banks Racing Engines, J2 Performance, and all the crew, all the hard work today. We made a few changes there for the second one, and I almost didn't know it was gonna work out there towards the end. They're just having trouble getting off the corner, but we were able to hold them off.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, you and I were talking earlier just after qualifying about wondering if the outside groove would work here. You definitely made it work, my friend. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're going to work around the other side. Folks from Napa here with our trophy presentation.
You have Bobby from Napa and the entire Napa and Napa Auto Care Center.
All right, everybody from the entire Napa Auto Care Centers. Bobby down here, he's got the trophy, and there you go. He's trying to make his way. All his family's got him. Your name, sir?
Jim Bennett. I own a Car Masters Automotive at Napa Auto Care, and very proud to be here, part of the Napa Auto Parts Night at the Races, and really proud to be able to present a trophy to one of Langley's own here, Matt Waltz.
There you go. Well, he's right behind you. Finally got over here, and Jim, he's going to give you the hardware there, buddy. Congratulations.
Yeah, very glad to see one of our own show that we can get it done.
There you go, Matt Waltz.